Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 214. Yeah, you saw me take a swig of coffee. Was up early this morning to do some eBay shipping and got that pot of coffee brewing. So on a little early. I was planning on going on live at 7 to 7:05, but I got caught. I was going through. So I've got like a little ADD or something because kind of like what Brad talked about on his show yesterday in the morning, where he can't sit at the computer for a long period of time. I'm kind of the same way. And like, even when I'm in the office, I have to like get up, walk around, go to the water cooler, look out the window. I get distracted. So when I have over 100 shipments, it's like I do them in bits and pieces. What's up, Ryan? Good morning. So when I have all these packages, I can hammer them out. Like I can do a half an hour to an hour, but then once I hit that hour mark, I usually sit on my like left foot. I don't know why, but and all of a sudden it's like I get up out of my office chair and it's like, ooh, my foot hurts. So I sat here for like 90 minutes last night, like just doing nothing but hammering out packages. So I was like super sore from just like, I think just sitting in the same spot, doing the stamp, doing like the same actions. I could never work in an assembly line. I guess you would get used to it, but not for me. Because what's up, George? Good morning. Nice little snowfall you got there in Korea. So I go back and forth and I do, I'll hammer out a half an hour to an hour worth of packages, and then I'll go sort cards. It's like never ending. Like you can always sort, and I'm always shipping. So I did that this morning. I hammered out some packages, and then I'm just like overwhelmed with the truckload of cards. My car's still like, I probably have 2 or 3 more trips. Did several trips throughout the day yesterday, hauling cards from my car into the house and down here into the basement. Still have a few more trips. So I'm just trying to like go through boxes and pull out. I'm pulling out some trade bait. I'm pulling out obviously the Cubs. Pulling out anything I can throw in the 99-cent store. So that's kind of what I'll go back and forth and do that. So that's what I was up to this morning. And I did get one from the Texas card dude yesterday. Sent me this big of Cubs, a few hundred cards probably. I need to count those still. Oh, find a spot for them. So there were a few cards that I did not have. I did not buy any Topps Heritage High number in 2020. So these were all new to me. Ben Zobrist, 2020 Topps Heritage High number. Jeremy Jeffries, who doesn't have too many Cubs cards. Relief pitcher, that's why. Daniel Descalso. And Steven Souza Jr. So 4 new Cubs cards to the collection. And there's also a penny sleeved card in there. How about this? Rookie card, Nico Horner. So a few hundred cards from Brad. So thank you very much. That's about all I had for today. Unless you guys want to talk about something. All I did hobby-wise, I'm kind of like, I'm not quite, I guess I'm not in PSA mode, but I'm like overwhelmed with sales on eBay. So it's like all I'm doing is shipping out. I stopped listing. I do, once I get caught up at some point this week. What happened was usually I get behind during the week, and not behind. I have a 3-day handling period. So that gives me like a buffer zone. So usually I'm a couple days ahead. Usually if you say you buy something like right now, typically I'll get it shipped out the next day. Sometimes it's a couple days. Sometimes if it's, I have stacks, so sometimes it's hard for me. Actually, somebody bought, I think it was Joe in Michigan, bought a few cards, and I've got to look this up because I just found it last night. I had like a small pile of cards that were in the wrong row in my eBay boxes, and he had bought a Victor Reyes card, Prism Refractor, and I misplaced it. So I had to so sometimes if a seller says, hey, I misplaced this card, it might be legit because it actually happens to me more than I'm embarrassed to say it happens. Not often, but it happens. Like, once out of every 500 transactions, I'll misplace a card. Usually it comes up. Sometimes there's I don't know if I entered the wrong quantity, if it's a quantity listing. Most often the issue is it gets misplaced in a different row. So it actually happened to Texas Card Dude a couple months ago. He bought a couple Gold Star parallels from me, and the Sean Murphy I couldn't find. And I looked and looked and looked, and I'm like, dude, just give me a couple days. Really sorry. And I ended up finding it. It slipped. It must have been in a pile and fell down beneath my my chairs or my desk. So was able to mail that out to him last week. So yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that. Want to know your opinion about Dibs, the card stock exchange that they're trying to get going. I think somebody's been direct messaging me about that. I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked at it, but I am aware of it. What's up, Herman? Good morning. Who sent me that message? And I post of it on the Blowout forums. Dibs, yeah, somebody. So I think the owner has been messaging me. What's up, David? Good morning. So yeah, so the Dibs Twitter account reached out to me. They don't follow me. So yeah, they messaged me, the Dibs Twitter account messaged me asking me if I've heard of it. He's actually sent me 3 or 4 messages. So they must really be trying to pump this. No, I have not. I'm curious. Do you have? I'd love to hear your thoughts if you know anything about it. Because I don't. I checked out the Blowout forums page thread that was talking about it. And it wasn't just. I don't know if. I can't remember. I honestly don't remember anything about it. So I'd love to hear your opinion. I don't know anything about it. But I may have to check that out at some point. Yeah, George, right? Just stack stuff up and send it somewhere. And that's the funny thing is what's up, Brad? Good morning. The funny thing is about my stacks, I have a small pile. So you can see my eBay / trade shelf here. So I have on the very top, I have 3 monster boxes, and that's football, basketball, or football, non-sports, and then my silver pulsar prisms. And then down here is my baseball and then basketball. Down here is some random stuff, just some random variation listings that I don't have to access. And then I have some supplies. And then I have a few piles for trades. And I actually keep better track. And probably because these piles don't move, I'll find this is for Matthew, Jorge Soler home run challenge. So I'll just pull stuff for trade bait and I'll set it on that on these stacks. And I'm not really actively looking through these stacks. So that's probably why I don't misplace them and I can always find what I'm looking for. And they're small. But I have just from the listings, especially using File Exchange last week, I probably listed 200 cards using File Exchange. And so obviously I have 200 piles of cards and I'm behind, so I don't have time to get them sorted in their proper rows. So that's the issue I'm running into. What's up, Dan? Good morning. So let's see. Oh, Herman got those binders. Awesome. I think eventually when I get my Cubs cards sorted, I'm going to go that route with those binders. Those are really sharp. I love the enclosed binders. I just like the look of those. So I may be looking into that. Brad, Dibs has been banging on me to sign up. So you're not the only one. Yeah, I've received like 5 messages from the Dibs account asking my thoughts on it. Picked one up at Target for $14. Oh, interesting. You know what? I have seen binders at Target. I'll have to check those out. Okay, so here's on Dibs. Ryan says they say you can buy a fractional part of expensive cards. Oh, so it's another fractional ownership company. Okay, so it's just another okay. So there's several. Okay, now it's starting to come back to me because there's a thread on Blowout forums, and it's a lot of negativity, which is typical for the Blowout forums anyway. And I know that the consensus on fractional ownership in the Blowout forums is negative, so that's probably why I just stopped reading. I don't know. It's probably buried because it's just not something that the Blowout, not the regulars on the Blowout forums are just not into that type of thing. I'm not either. I'm not against it. I'm very hesitant on some of them. Like the main ones that are out right now, I'm like, I trust. I think it's collectible, and there's one other one. Okay, here it is. Sports Card Game Changer Dibs. And I think it was probably the owner that, yeah, hard pass. If this clown oh, is Sports Card Investor pushing this? That's, yeah, and he's nobody likes him on the Blowout forums. So yeah, so that's why I stopped reading, because everybody's just so yeah, it was overwhelmingly negative on the Blowout forums. I'm not into fractional ownership. I like cards. I like bringing home a truckload of cards. I like sitting on my floor watching TV, watching a game, sorting cards. I like this, even though it gives me headaches sometimes. I love the stacks. I love the piles. I like, no, I am into, I think there's totally a market for it. I'm not a hater. I see fractional ownership in the same light as grading. I think there's definitely a market for it. I think it's good as long as it's on the up and up. It's just not for me. I would rather own the cards outright. If I want to own a piece of something, I'll own a piece of Bitcoin and Ford and Apple and Amazon. But a share of a 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle just doesn't do it for me. Plus, what I don't like about fractional ownership is typically, and if we're not at the height of a sports card boom right now, it's coming close. Where does it stop? We don't know, but my concern is these are already being sold at a premium. They're not going to list these cards, it's not going to be like a discounted rate. It's going to be at the most premium at the time you buy in. And there's probably money to be made if you do it wisely. But it's just not for me. It's just fractional ownership is not for me. Dibs ain't hitting me. I feel disappointed. I'll tag you, George. Maybe they'll get off my back. So I'll just keep ignoring I think I responded to the first message they sent me. And then it's crickets from me. And now that I know it's fractional ownership, I just have no interest. Let's see. So yeah, he is an investor on the site. Fractional ownership sounds like an open marriage. I want my own stuff. As a set collector, I don't like it as, I want to hold cards in my hand. I'm going to own some parts of them video highlights. Don't do it. I'll block them. Yeah. So, it's good if you own lower grade or raw cards that are being fractionalized. Yeah, I can see that, and I think once you see, it's kind of like what we discussed yesterday with the grading, and with PSA raising prices, you're going to see a trickle down effect with similar cards and second year cards and third year cards, and especially with other slabs. So I think if a 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle, which I think was one of the first for one of the other companies, goes up, others will follow suit. And if those values rise, it's going to bring up the rest. Dan wants to talk about Steve Swisher. So I do have a good story about something similar. So Dan and George were talking a couple days ago on their show that so Dan's starting a project, and I apologize, I can't remember exactly what your project was, but was it White Sox draft picks? You're collecting rookies or first minor league cards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Steve Swisher was mentioned, who was a Cub in the 70s. So and obviously I know Steve Swisher, and so I looked up as I'm like watching the show, I'm looking up on Trading Card Database, like, I wonder if Steve Swisher has any minor league cards, because minor league cards started to there were some hit or miss minor league issues, as early as tobacco era, but like the sets and kind of promotional cards, I think you started seeing them in like the 50s and probably even before then, but you really started to see the market on minor league team sets pick up in the early 70s, like right around 1970, 71. And they're pretty rare. And so I looked up, and Steve Swisher had a 1974 Wichita Arrows card. So Wichita Arrows were the AAA affiliate for the Cubs before Iowa. So they were with Wichita for a long time, up until they went to Iowa in 1981. So throughout the 70s, and I can't remember when I think they was the Cubs affiliate. So I had a picture of the cards, and I didn't want to spoil it, because eventually when I find this team set, I want to see them for the first time in my hands. See, that's why I don't like fractional ownership. I want to see the cards in my hands for the first time, not on a computer screen. So I saw the Steve Swisher, and I'm like, holy cow, I did not know that Wichita had a 1974 set. I looked on eBay. There's a few singles, maybe 3 or 4, probably 30 card set. So that's on my watch list. So that's the new that I'm looking for, 1974 Wichita Arrows team set. So I have a story about early minor league cards. So the Wichita Arrows also had a team set in 1972, which I had found on eBay at one point, just doing a random eBay search, and it went to auction, or it was at auction when I saw it. So I found it in this 7-day window. And the 1972 Wichita Arrows set has Tony La Russa in his only Cub card. So Tony La Russa actually played in one game for the Chicago Cubs. It was in 1970, I think it was 72. Same year he was in this Wichita Arrows set. And he did not see an at bat in a Cubs uniform, but he did come in as a pinch runner, and he scored a run. Tony La Russa, his only appearance with the Chicago Cubs. If you Google, there's a few images out there of him in a Cubs uniform. He only has one Cubs / minor league card, and that's the 72 Wichita Arrows. So Paul Russell is also in this set. I did a blog post about this a while ago. There's several guys that had like cups of coffee. Tony La Russa, Paul Russell are the biggest names, if I remember correctly. And they're also a little larger. I don't have them handy right now. I'll show them off tomorrow on tomorrow's show. So they're a little larger. So when I received it, it wasn't advertised on eBay as a complete set. It was just a lot of, I don't know, 27 cards or whatever. So I got the lot, and I'm going through it, and there's like doubles of 2 or 3 players. So I just thought it was a lot, and I almost had Paul Rushell sign his at a card show a couple years ago. Might have been the Nat. Wasn't the Nat. Maybe it was. Oh, no, it was Cubs Convention. So I almost had him sign it, and then I thought, I actually found like an 8x10 at the convention at a vendor booth, had him sign that instead. And I think this was before my project started. So then as I start my project, I'm looking around, and lo and behold, I actually have the complete set. They made duplicates of a couple of the players because I think the position, the name and position were like on a second line. And then the other variation was on the first line. So I have the complete set, and I probably found it on Trading Card Database. And you'll find more singles. I can find singles of them on eBay, but a complete set, I have not seen one since, from 1972. So I'm really happy. I got it for a steal. I think I paid under $20 shipped for this 72 Wichita Arrows team set. So very happy with that. So that was my Wichita Arrows minor league set. So now I'm on the lookout for the 74 team set. So you'll buy their rookies unless they didn't play in the majors. With the White Sox, then I'll buy the first minor league Sox card. Oh, gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Someone on Twitter last night, the current PSA backlog is 10 million. Wow. I have seen a ton of different values. I saw somebody, there was a screen grab of a Facebook group, a bulk submission of like 30,000, I think, maybe more, but like a 30,000 card submission before the rate hike. And I know that there were a lot of people sending into PSA ahead of that rate hike. Ton of cards to be graded. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. He only played one game with him because he crashed his car after the game. Seen on Twitter that people were sending in 10,000 cards just to beat. Yeah. There was the 30,000 one I saw. A lot of people were, they gave way too much lead time on the price increase. I don't know if that was by design, for a quick cash grab. Bad drinking joke. Gotcha. Okay. I'm a little slow this morning. Even though I've had my coffee, I'm still a little slow. Now I get it. So that's what I had for today. I'll try to dig up that Tony La Russa. I'm not even sure. I have like my Cubs collection is so disorganized because I've just been like stacking stuff. I've got my Cubs corner back over here. So everything's just in boxes. So I'll try to find, I think I have the La Russa and the Rushell, though. At one time I had them on a shelf out in my rec room, but I think I brought those in. I kind of switch it up sometimes out there, what I have. So if I can find it today, I will, I'll track it down and show what they look like. Cause they're not they're like 5x7, I think. I'll try to track those down. So thanks for tuning in. You missed it. So Brad, thank you for the Cubs. The Heritage High number were new. I didn't buy any Heritage High numbers. So I think there were 4 Heritage High numbers that I didn't have, and then love the Nico. So thank you very much. I saw an Earl Cunningham in there, but I've talked ad nauseum about Earl Cunningham, so I won't bore you with those details again. So thank you very much. And I'll get something out to you here in the next couple weeks. That's it. 1millioncubs.com. Haven't had a chance to post anything new. I'll talk. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to write it on the board. I'm also going to talk about Project 70. I haven't touched on that in a while. Because we're 27 cards in and still Cubs, 6 Dodgers, 0 Cubs. The Yankees have slowed back. I think only 4 Yankees out of 27, but we're up to 6 Dodgers. So is today the day we see a Cub, hopefully? So I want to get a Project 70 Cubs card. So I'll talk a little bit about Project 70 tomorrow. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. eBay store link is also at the top of the page, 1millioncubs.com and 99centcards.com. Check out Texas Card Dude. Was watching him. He went live last night, opened up some of those Leaf or Onyx vintage. Those are cool cards. So check him out on his channel, Texas Card Dude. That's it. Have a good one, and we'll talk tomorrow.